you finalize that ticket, before you set that roster, you need the edge. Welcome to the 1 hour window that separates the winners from the losers. We're diving deep into the spreads, the over-unders, the value plays, and the sleepers you must start. Stop guessing and start winning. This is the Gridiron Gurus, providing the ultimate NFL advantage exclusively on the Empty the Bench Network.
Okay. Dealing with some technical snafus behind the scenes because it wouldn't be this network without any of it. Welcome to Gridiron Gurus. Yes, Grant's not here right now because of Apple camera issues. Gotta love Apple technology.
Gotta love it.
I mean, thanks a lot, Apple, but follow the show on social media. Gridiron Gurus. You can see it all across our platforms. It's part of the football forecast, so check out at TFB Forecast ETB across all social media platforms. YouTube.com/ETB Network. Help us subscribe. We are over 2,100 watch hours, so go check that out currently as we work through these annoying issues. But I could tell you about a more annoying issue we're going to talk about during this show, which just happened today. But
you want to get straight into it?
I mean, I'll kind of tell everybody what the show's going to be about. Cam Scattaboo says CTE is fake. Hold it down. I'll make sure we get to that. Ty Hilton, former Colt, legendary Colt, retires, had a very long career. Jaylen Waddle traded to the Broncos. It was about damn time he got traded.
Yeah. He was supposed to go there middle of the season.
He was, right? I mean, there's so many teams that lined up for Jaylen Waddle. Also, NFL owners meeting that may force Raiders owner Mark Davis. Well, I don't know if it's that they're forcing Mark Davis out. Let's put it this way. It's a $10 billion decision that's on the line based on that situation, and so on and so forth. But I'm kind of glad I got to sit here, even if it's just for this topic, because this just happened today. Because if Cam Scattaboo's not in the headlines, then I don't know what he is. But it came out, and I saw it on a platform I'm not a huge fan of. I'm sure you've heard of it, called Pro Football Talk with Mike Florio. So Cam Scattaboo says CTE is fake and calls it an excuse. So you want to tell everybody what you and I were discussing before we came up on here?
Yeah, so with the CTE thing and him calling it fake is kind of weird because he already has it. Or he's going to have it by the end of his career, because he used to do a thing in college where he would, as they were walking out, he would hit his head on the concrete 3 times.
Quite literally. 3
times every game. And that's how he would get his motivation. And he said that was his motivation into games. And I think he's been doing it forever since he started playing football. I'm pretty sure.
It's his ritual.
Yeah. It's just what he did to get himself going for the games and get ready to take hits. And obviously, I think he already has it personally, but for him calling it an excuse and calling it fake is just crazy, because look at retired players like Antonio Brown. That's just the main reason.
I think Antonio Brown. I think Antonio Brown's a moron, but that's a whole different issue. But for it to go around and to be that way, and it looks like we got a camera.
All right, it's working.
No
it's
way.
Working.
He's in.
Wait, is this your camera or your phone?
No, this is my camera. I didn't put my green screen in because I was rushing back to get in here. but I can.
Got it. But so we started to discuss. I don't know. Did you see this topic?
Yes, I did. No, this was a good ad last minute. I love this. I love this.
Well, we were starting to say. I said Cam Scadaboo is a moron. I think you can't fool around with CTE.
No, you can't. You can't. I mean, there are multiple people that like in the NFL that have died from CTE. Junior Seau.
I forgot him.
Well, now the next person I'm about to mention didn't die from CTE, but had a severe case of it after his death and that person is Aaron Hernandez, but he was also batshit crazy before that. So
well, he had criminal issues also.
Yes.
He also was running in bad circles.
Yes. And I'm not trying to say that's not what got him killed, but like he probably had one of the worst cases of CTE, because the thing about him was he literally always put his head down to get 2 to 3 extra yards when he was playing in the NFL, and it was
that was a different NFL back then, though. No one knew about the health effects of CTE, so they would just play as hard as they can. They would bang helmets. I mean, heck, they changed the rule that you can't hit with the crown of the helmet anymore. Back then, the crown of the helmet was like considered the aggressive hit of the NFL back then. So now that you can't hit with the crown of the helmet, now is that going to stop injuries? No, of course not. But I just think the rules are way different than they were back then.
Yeah.
But I don't understand the logic of Cam Scadaboo. Now, anyone who can figure out the logic of Cam Scadaboo should earn millions of dollars, but
they should be figuring out stuff with the world at that point if you can figure out what's wrong with Cam Scadaboo.
And the thing is, Cam Scadaboo is he's a great for a second-year player. I like his style. Like yes, he only played, like 10 games because of a gruesome injury that is not CTE related. But I'm gonna say it, every NFL player at the end of their career will have some form of CTE. It might not be as severe as some of the cases that I mentioned, but they're always hitting people with their heads. Look at linebacker. Junior Seau was a linebacker, but I'll tell you one person that I'm very surprised that doesn't have CTE or doesn't have a bad form of CTE, and that's Ray Lewis, because he was a monster.
He tackled the right way, though. Like, he made hits that just tackled. That was just the right way. That wasn't with his helmet. It was more shoulder pad.
And that's good. That's good. I'm very happy that he is one of those people. But at the same time, you're like, geez, I'll tell you a person that will probably have CTE down the line, and I love this player. I love this guy, and if he does, I'm gonna be super unhappy for him. And that player is Jason Kelce, and it's not because of the fact that he was a terrible blocker or needed to use his head. It's the fact that he, for the tail end of his career, he was the centerpiece of the tush push, and people fell on him, and that messes with your head. I'm sorry, but it's probably is going to end that way. Now, do I think that he's going to have as a severe of case of CTE as Junior Seau or Aaron Hernandez? I don't think so, but I think he'll have some form of it.
Yeah, but here's the problem. So I just found the article because everybody is writing about it right now.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he went on a podcast called "Bringing the Juice" with Frank Delina, whoever that is. I don't know who that is. Scadabel made multiple controversial comments. Most notably, he seemed to suggest that CTE and asthma are both excuses.
Okay, I'm sorry, but asthma is a real thing.
Asthma is a real thing.
I don't have it, but I know people who have it. So
do I. Prior to the comments, Scadaboo was telling Delana that he couldn't remember if the viral story about him putting pads on and running into telephone poles as a kid was real.
So that could be a literal proof that CTE is real.
Delana then asked Scadaboo if CTE was real. Scadaboo said point blank, no. A video of the exchange has already begun spreading rapidly.
It's an excuse. He said it's an excuse,
right?
Which is not true.
So it says, quote, it's an excuse. Delana then went on to argue that asthma was also an excuse, to which Scadaboo agreed. They weren't done mocking asthma. Quote, is there anything worse than when you're in 4th grade and someone's huffing and puffing? Just breathe air, Scadaboo argued. Come on, man. God. What is your problem?
Oh my God. Okay. So let me ask if I would love for this to reach Cam Scadaboo so I could literally get an answer from him. So let me ask you a question, a hypothetical question. If, offensive lineman, or just the whole football team always has to run like 100-yard sprints in practice. So are you telling me that like you don't see your 300-pound offensive lineman at the end of that drill huffing and puffing because it's a gruesome warm up for practice? Asthma is real, and I guarantee you that I mean there might be there have been wrestlers that have it. Dave Bautista is an example, for I'm sorry that's a different sport, but I want to give you examples that for this. And I know that he had it because he actually said on an interview that he leaves inhalers around the WWE rings, that he would just like, if he was like outside the ring, he would go underneath he put like 1 or 2 underneath the ring, and you just grab it and do a quick, and he'd go back in the ring. But
so Callan just made a comment, which, by the way, he talks about the Junior Seau situation all the time because he was a San Diego fan before they moved to LA, before the Chargers moved.
Mm-hmm.
Have Scadabel talk to the family of Dave Durison, Junior Seau, Steve McNair, among other notable players. I dare you to say that to the family member's face. Shut your mouth, dude. How asinine. I mean, agreed. Totally.
I agree completely. I mean, I would love for you to just be in a family room of all these families, and I want you to say it with a straight face that CTE is not real, and I guarantee you will get bitch slapped in the face.
I want to know, like, if the Giants are dealing with a PR nightmare. This is not the first time the Giants have had a PR nightmare with Cam Scadaboo before. So when do the Giants wake up and say, enough, stop getting on a microphone, stop getting on video, and shut up?
Honestly, I am very surprised that John Harbaugh actually allowed Scadaboo to do this.
It's not, you have to remember, today's day and age,
it's not
the players control everything. In every sport, the players control everything. They want to do a podcast, they're going to do a podcast. They're going to go on stream and do a stream. Mm-hmm. They're going to do a stream.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I agree with you. The teams need to take more responsibility for the way their players act. Look what happened in Pittsburgh when Aaron Rodgers all of a sudden stopped showing up on McAfee's show during the season. That was Mike Tomlin.
Yeah,
who stopped him from
I remember that.
And and Kellen brings up another point, which we talked about on Press Row. Case in point, his appearance on Monday Night Raw while he was in a walking boot and on a scooter.
I saw that. And
people gave me shit when I got mad about this, saying that because he was sitting in the front row and he was part of the stunt that they were doing, and where he was fighting.
Mm-hmm.
The Giants should have reprimanded him for being part of a fight during the WWE. And
Well, he was injured. I mean, he had a
were,
broken foot or whatever.
And people said I was overreacting because it was a fake, whatever, scripted fight. It doesn't matter. What happens if he got hurt?
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, it's scripted, but like, I mean, I hate to bring this guy up, but Logan Paul, he tore his ACL.
Well, you could get hurt in any physical.
You could get hurt in any physical sport.
It could be scripted, but you still could get hurt. So, I mean, it's just dumb. Scadaboo's dumb. I love him as a football player, just not as outside of football.
Not as a human.
I'm trying to understand the logic of these comments because, again, this is like one of the unspoken things like you shouldn't talk about in football, and it's CTE. We had a huge lawsuit that was settled between the NFL alumni players and the NFL because they were not willing to give the money needed for these guys to recover from CTE. And you know what? I said this to Michael before we started the show. If he doesn't believe in CTE, he should not be allowed to take any NFLPA benefits at all.
You know what? Yeah. I think that's a reasonable thought.
Maybe by the end of his NFL career, he'll believe CTE is real.
You mean now? I think that weird ritual of him hitting his head against a brick wall before every game is kind of peculiar and odd.
Yeah, for a guy that says CTE is not real, you are literally doing things that could literally get you CTE early and destroy your career.
And it's like he wasn't like hitting like the front, like the face mask. He's hitting the top of his head.
Like where the brain could get hit more. Like
you can't do that.
I'm just like, as I continue to read this story, like, you know what? He deserves to be killed by the media, like everywhere.
I hope that in the beginning of involuntary workouts in the next like 3 or 4 weeks.
And awful announcing, which by the way, I have an issue lately with the media because like they'll get mad at them and then towards the end of the article, they walk it back afterwards. And it says here, this is not the first time Scadaboo has raised eyebrows with comments about CTE. He previously said that he doesn't fear any potential brain damage from playing football, which now awful announcing goes on to write, to be fair to Scadaboo, the comments are so out of left field that it's entirely possible he's joking. Who cares? What are you joking or not joking?
CTE is not something to be joking about. It's real. It literally messes with people's heads and makes them different people. I mean, okay, here's another example of a player who I believe has some form of CTE. Antonio Brown. I mean, Antonio Brown, I will come out and say this. Antonio Brown was always a little bit of a head case, during his football career, but to walk out of a football game in the middle of the game, playing the Jets of all teams, who, I'm sorry, Nick, but I'm going to say it, one of the worst franchises in the NFL, and I think you agree with me, but like, and the thing was, he had a good first half during his final game, but he was like, "Oh no, screw this! I'm not playing anymore." I don't get it because Bruce Arians like didn't design a play for him or something like that.
Well,
it took him out.
Speaking of the devil, he just tweeted a minute ago.
Antonio Brown?
No. Cam Scadaboo just tweeted officially a minute ago saying, I recently did an interview and had a lapse in judgment, which resulted in me making a tasteless joke about CTE and asthma. It was never my intention to downplay the seriousness of head injuries or asthma. I sincerely apologize to anyone that was offended by my remarks, and I assure you that I'll be more mindful and respectful going forward. Much love. Bullshit.
Oh my God. That you can't do that.
No, apology not accepted, dude.
Yeah, seriously.
Like, so now you're gonna play it off as it was a mindless ha joke about asthma and CTE.
Oh, man, dude, that's not good.
It's just not something you say to the media. That's something you say at like 3 a.m. in the PlayStation party when no one else can hear, you know?
Well,
But
first
you don't say it anyways,
you
but
shouldn't.
that's
Yeah.
like
Well,
that's
as a
like the
public
joke
figure-
that says.
First of all, as a public figure, you don't say anything in any chat because it could get
And,
shared.
and seriously, I mean, regardless of when you are drafted, you know, in any sport, if you're from, a good college and you become any sport athlete, you go from a literal nobody to a famous person overnight, and it will ruin your reputation. And this might have ruined his.
No, because the NFL's the NFL, and everyone gets like 5 million chances.
Yeah.
I hope that John Harbaugh has Scatterboo in for a meeting.
He's not, because he's the young star. So he's not. You know what's going to happen? That's what's going to happen.
Slap on the wrist.
He's going to get slapped on the wrist like every other NFL player does. Roger Goodell's going to say nothing because he never punishes anybody.
Yep.
We've seen what happens before when guys get in trouble and we get 2-game suspensions, and then all of a sudden they turn into 10, and then the NFLPA has to fight back.
Yep.
I mean, this is all like deja vu all over again. But how old is Cam Scatterboo?
24.
Okay, so he's acting like a dopey, dumb kid is basically what we're getting at here.
Yes, pretty much.
Which, again, does not excuse the fact that you talked about CTE in the way you did. But
no, it does not.
And I'm gonna take heat for this next comment I'm gonna make, but
who cares?
The Giants should cut him. The Giants should cut him. And no, because it's a serious thing.
No, yeah, you're right. I mean, the thing is they can't because he's on a rookie contract. I mean, you could get that's.
You really think the Giants are going to care about a rookie salary dump?
Not okay. No, they're not going to care about that. If they tried to trade him, that's what would be hard, because trading rookies on a rookie deal is very, very doesn't happen very often.
They could cut him and get Jeremiah Love.
But I'm saying, well, yeah, they could.
Well, wait, where are the Giants in the draft?
5.
5. The Jets are 2 and the Giants are 5.
Oh, I'm gonna say this. There's a possibility. I don't know how much of a possibility, but if there's another team in the top 5 that's looking for a running back, it's the Titans. Yeah. They have 4. So
I just don't get it. Like, and I apologize for spending a lot of time on this, but it's a huge story. Like,
I probably should have added this in.
Well, it literally just happened. You wouldn't have known.
It happened. It happened probably.
It happened like an hour ago, literally.
Oh, I thought I saw it like this morning, but
was it this morning? I only saw it like an hour or 2 ago. But I don't know, man. Like if and the Giants ownership is already dysfunctional as it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because which owner is it? The one that's going through trying to give his ownership to put in a trust fund so they can avoid. I'm forgetting the guy's name at the moment.
I can't remember either.
It's the one involved with the scandal.
I know who you're talking about, but my head doesn't immediately think of his name.
I don't know, man. I would cut him. He's not going to get cut. People are going to grill me. I get it, but it is what it is. But I'm going to let you guys finish the show because I have to go do stuff. So I'll let you take back over.
Yeah, thank you for covering for a couple minutes. Sorry,
no, you're good.
Tried to get on a little earlier.
No, you're good. All right, I'm going to run so you guys can finish the show.
All right,
okay.
Sweet.
Okay. Later.
All right, here we go. All right, so since we literally probably talked about Cam Scatterboo for 20 minutes, why don't we go into the next thing, which So T.Y. Hilton retired. And to be honest with you, I actually thought that he retired a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
But
same.
apparently he played for the Cowboys for like a year, I think, and that was this year. But with that being said, T.Y. Hilton had a great career for a guy that had to shuffle through quarterbacks. So I put his stats on a note here, on my phone, so I could remember. So T.Y. Hilton caught 638 of 1,086 passes for 9,812 yards, which averages out to 15.4 yards per catch, and 53 touchdowns. And I want to say that he had how long was his career? His career was, so he started in 2012, and his last year in the NFL was 2022. So
yeah, that's why I was confused why he just announced his retirement. I thought he was retired a while ago.
Well, like, for example, here's another example of a player that like isn't playing right now, but isn't considered retired. Cam Newton. I don't think Cam Newton has announced his retirement.
Yeah, I guess that is true.
It's
just weird to me. Like, I feel like if you're not playing, you're basically retired. Like, you're retired.
Yeah, but until you fill out the paperwork, it's not official.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: when he was with Indianapolis, he had, like 5 different quarterbacks.
Yeah.
The most, the most consistent one, I think, was Andrew Luck, and I think his last year was 2012 for some reason.
No, Andrew Luck started in 2012.
Oh, he started in 20.
He retired in 2019. I want to say, or 2018. One of the two.
Okay, well, I mean, yeah. So T.Y. Hilton had Andrew Luck for 6 years, and then had like Carson Wentz 1 year, not Daniel Jones, because that was just that last year. Who was the quarterback for the Colts in 2020? Oh my God. See, this just goes to show that that 2020 was so long ago that we don't even remember who the quarterback of the Colts was.
Who was the quarterback of the Colts? I'm trying to think. I can't think off the top of my head.
I'll look it up. I'm sorry that I have to look it up, but it's QB.
Oh, it was Phillip.
20. Oh, thank you. It was
I just thought about it.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers.
Was he in 2021 too? I feel like he was in 2021.
Yeah.
Phillip Rivers was in 2020. Let's see if anyone was different in 2021. Carson Wentz was in 2021. But when you look back to 2020, T.Y. Hilton played in 15 games that year, caught 56 of 93 passes for 762 yards and 5 touchdowns. However, T.Y. Hilton's best year was in 2018, where he caught 76 passes of 120 for 1,270 yards and 6 touchdowns. So the thing
he's
that's
not a touchdown scorer.
Yeah, he's not. He was a yards guy, but I mean that. Oh wow, I was wrong. I
thought he had a 1,400 yard.
No, you're right. In 2016, he did. He had 1,448 in 2016. I was looking too fast. But yeah, I mean,
still not a touchdown guy though. He probably had like what, 8 touchdowns, 9.
The 1,400 yard season, he had 6.
6, yeah.
I mean, when you look at this, when you look at his average like yards per reception, it's never below 10. Like his lowest was 11.1 in 2019.
Yeah, he was a big like corner post type of guy. Like he wasn't like your slant, your in route type.
I mean, I play Madden a lot, and I like to throw slants.
Yeah.
It's just like, especially in the red zone, it always feels like slants is one of the easiest passes to complete against
Yep.
computer. But great career for T.Y. Hilton. Too bad that he didn't get a Super Bowl ring. But you know, here's what I think. Players that are in the NFL, I mean, yes, getting a Super Bowl ring is awesome, but that's not why they do it. They do it for the love of the game. I mean, that's why I was the manager of my football team for 4 years. That's why, Michael was part of it for a couple years. And I say a couple because he left my school for a couple years, I think.
I
But
did not leave your school, but
you got off the team.
yeah.
Okay.
But
Going into the next topic, because there's some good topics that we got to cover for the next couple of minutes, or couple of 30 minutes. So upcoming pro days, I also have this on my notes because there's actually a lot that are coming up. And one is kind of on a funny day. But I'll mention that in a little bit. So today is March 21st. On March 23rd, we have LSU, Miami, Florida, Alabama State, which I did not know was a college. I must say that. Boston College, Duke, Iowa, North Carolina, SMU, and Toledo are on March 23rd, which is Monday. Tuesday, we have Auburn, Boise State, Cincinnati, Iowa State, Louisville, NC State, Notre Dame, Texas, and UConn. March 25th, we have Alabama, Nebraska, UCF, and Wake Forest. March 26th, there's Florida, Pittsburgh, TCU, and Texas Tech. March 27th, we have Florida State, Maryland, and Arizona State. March 30th is HBCU showcases and International Player Pathway. I think that just means if you're I don't know what the internet. So the international Player Pathway means if you like live in Ireland or something like that. Somehow those players like get ways to get in the NFL. I don't know how exactly that works, which is kind of
maybe
funny.
like rugby or something. I don't know.
Oh, that could be because the Bears do have a punter from Ireland, I think, or he at least sounds Irish.
Australian.
Oh, thank you, Australian. And April 1st, and this is why I say it's funny. April 1st is Indiana. And why I say it's funny is because Fernando Mendoza, the eventual number 1 pick, who's going to the Raiders, didn't throw it at the combine and is going to throw it as pro day. But everyone knows April 1st is April Fool's Day. And this is not going to happen. I just think it's funny. Since it's April Fool's Day, I just think it would be so funny if he, if everyone that, is going to be looking at him, even though we know the Raiders are going to draft him, I just think it would be so funny if everyone comes to the pro day for Fernando Mendoza and he doesn't throw. It's not going to happen, but it would be I would get a laugh out of it if it did. But again, not going to happen. But like, do you watch pro days at all, Michael?
No, I'll see the stuff on like TikTok,
TikTok
Twitter,
and Twitter.
yeah, Instagram, but like I don't watch them personally. I
Yeah,
didn't even watch the combine really.
the only one
I
that
had no
I
time.
watched a couple of years. I watched Caleb's a couple of years ago.
I did watch Caleb's, yep, because I knew he was coming to my team.
So did I. I was like, all right, I gotta watch it. I
Yeah.
gotta see how this guy throws. But yeah, I actually watched the combine because I wanted to see like who I would think the Bears would target because we're both Bears fans. But like, I can't make that assumption unless this, unless the announcers would say like, ooh, this is the guy that the Bears should look at or something like that. But they don't say that. Like they don't say that. So it's kind of hard to justify like who they would exactly be looking at. Like I watched most of the safety day, honestly, because of the fact that we needed a safety opposite of now Kobe Bryant, which awesome.
Yeah.
But going into but again, I probably won't watch a lot of pro days that are coming up. Maybe I'll watch Mendoza's just to see how he is, but I don't care. It's like my team has their quarterback, and I, I want him to do good. But the thing is, the Raiders don't have a lot on offense besides Genty and Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
And yes, I know that is two very good players, but here's the thing. You don't have many wideouts. Like I feel like a quarterback should have a couple wideouts if he wants to be successful. And go ahead.
I have a feeling the Raiders are looking at his Mendoza's counterpartner.
Omar Cooper or whatever his
Yeah.
name is.
Unless he's flying up the boards that I don't know, but
well, here's the problem about that, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But going into the next topic, Jaylen Waddle was traded to the Broncos, and it was reported that they looked at him at the trade deadline.
yep. I was telling Nick that before.
And so they got a first, a third, and a fifth, I think.
For like Waddle and a fourth, I think it was.
For Waddle and a fourth. Yes. And don't get me wrong, Jaylen Waddle was always pretty dangerous on the Dolphins, even though they had a mediocre quarterback. But Jaylen Waddle with Bo Nix, watch out. It's gonna be insane. And I mean, Jaylen Waddle with Sean Payton as his play caller. Holy crap, that's gonna go crazy.
Well,
Wait a minute. I totally forgot. Sean Payton is giving up play calling.
Oh.
So who's gonna be the play caller for
their
the
OC
Broncos?
Whoever
Davis
OC.
Webb. Davis Webb. He's gonna be the play caller. And honestly, that's not bad because he's been a quarterback, so he knows how to probably call plays. He knows how to recite plays. But I think his offense, with the help of Sean Payton, will look good.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that Sean Payton is giving up play calling. I'm surprised by it.
Here's the thing with this Waddle trade, because I think we've all seen it. The wide receivers haven't been that great, other than Courtland Sutton, obviously, and like Waddle's getting traded to the Broncos. He's not going to have a number one corner on him anymore, because when he was at the Dolphins, he had a number one corner on him because Tyreek Hill got injured. Sutton demands the number one corner. Like, you have to put your number one corner on him.
Right.
So Waddle's just going to be free, and Bo Nix is going to throw for 4,500 yards now.
That's gonna be dangerous.
Yeah, like it's because Waddle's a great after the catch type of guy too, and
Yeah.
he's great
So
for Hail Marys and stuff like that too.
so I know it's super early for me to say this, but for anyone watching, if you want to put Jaylen Waddle on the top of your draft board for fantasy football drafts, do it because Michael's right. I mean, he's gonna be on the number 2 corner now, so it's gonna be pretty easy for him to be open because I mean Jaylen Waddle should demand a number 1 corner, but with Courtland Sutton, you can't put 2 ones on 2 guys. So
And I think Waddle's better than Courtland Sutton. Don't get me wrong, but it's just the physicality of Sutton, which he'll demand a number 1 corner.
right, no, I agree with you.
But I think Waddle could be with this move. I think Waddle could be a top 7 receiver in fantasy.
I
Am
think
I
I
going to
agree
pick
with you.
him as a top 7 receiver in the draft? No, but
I'd
if you
pick him
can,
in the 2nd or 3rd round for
I
sure.
don't. I wouldn't, because it's still uncertain. Like you're still uncertain with him.
Yeah,
But
I
like if
guess.
he falls to like the 4th, maybe the 5th round, sure, I'm taking him all day in the 4th. Not 2 or 3, but that's a little
Yeah,
fantasy tip I'll give. But
maybe I said a little too early, but going into the next topic, which is the one that I actually really wanted to talk about, and what I will mention about the Raiders in a minute. So there are 5 teams that have first round draft picks this year. The Dolphins is one of them with 11 and 30. And me personally, I do believe that I don't think both of them, but I do think one will be a wide receiver because they don't have any receivers anymore. The Dolphins have 2.
Jets.
The Jets have 2. The I put the list on my phone because I knew I would forget this.
The Raiders don't have 2 anymore.
The Dolphins, the Chiefs, the Cowboys, the Jets, and the Browns have 2 first round draft picks. Now
the Chiefs got it from the Rams, right?
Now the thing is, I do not believe 2 of these teams will actually make anything out of these 2 first round draft picks, and the 2 teams that I don't think will make anything out of them will be the Jets and the Browns. There's an argument where you could say 3, and I would say that the 3rd would be the Cowboys, but
you never know. That the Cowboys are kind of like have been a dangerous team drafting in the mid-teens.
But here's the thing that is stupid with their organization. Jerry Jones is the owner, the chairman, the GM, and everything else. He is the decision maker, and he's 80. I don't know how old he is.
800 years old.
He's super old, and he's super old fashioned. You gotta let your head coach have 60% of the say.
You got to get another GM. You got to get a GM in there.
That's the thing. That's the thing about Jerry Jones. Since he's the owner, until he's in the ground, I don't want to say the other word, he's not going to give up the GM title. It's not going to happen.
Which is stupid because he's probably going to live till he's in his 90s and he's going to still be drafting for the Cowboys.
Well, how old is Jerry Jones is the question.
I'm pretty sure he's in his low 80s.
Oh my God. Sorry, I have to look this up. Okay. Jerry Jones is 83.
Yeah.
So if you are right, Michael, he could at least be in the Cowboys draft room for another 7 years.
And if he's there in their draft room for another 7 years and still the GM for another 7 years, he's not witnessing another Super Bowl.
Nope.
They have all the
And-
talent in the world to do it, but he's not with us anymore.
And here is a couple of fun facts about Jerry Jones. So he bought the Cowboys in 1989 for $140 million, and his net worth now is $20.7 billion.
Cowboys are the most expensive team in sports, I'm pretty sure.
And that's not the net worth of the Cowboys. That's the net worth of Jerry Jones. I'm interested to see what the Cowboys are actually. I think I saw something that
I
said
think they're
like
in
$8 billion.
I think they're more than that now with this sale of the Mavs and the Lakers and all that.
13 billion. 13. Holy crap. That's insane. But here's the thing that's surprising. So even though there's only 5 teams that control the NFL draft with 2 first-round draft picks, there could have been 6.
They're supposed to be the
6.
Raiders.
Yeah, the 6 would have been the Raiders. And don't get me wrong, I do believe that the Raiders will, be primarily focused on the offensive side of the ball because they did spend literally all their money besides 2 players on offense, and those 2 players being Tyler Linderbaum, and he signed a 3-year, $81 million deal with $27 million per year, which is insane. And then the other one was Jalen Naylor.
Yeah, the wide receiver.
I mean, he's a wide receiver, but he's not like a.
No.
I wouldn't say that he was the name that I thought they'd go after.
And they gave him like $30 million or something for like 2 years or whatever it was.
That's insane. That's insane. So here's the thing: they have 1 and 36, I believe. For some reason they don't have 33. I don't know why that is.
They'd probably traded it.
But like, so to put in perspective here, if the Raiders and the Ravens actually agreed that Max Crosby was going to stay in Baltimore because of even with his injury, the Raiders would have had 1 and 14. And why I mention this is because they're going to take Mendoza at 1. Everyone knows that. Whenever there's a quarterback prospect that a team that the number 1 team with the number 1 pick needs a quarterback, regardless of how good or bad he is, they'll take a quarterback. But here's the thing: 14 is a prime position to get a wide receiver in the draft, or 10 to 14, 10 to 15 is around the sweet spot for wide receivers usually. But now they don't have it. They've got to wait till 36 to get, Mendoza a target or protection or whatever.
Or you wait till next year.
Yeah, there is some good guys.
2027 draft class is crazy.
But I just think that they need to focus primarily on the offensive side of the ball with Fernando Mendoza being the eventual quarterback. I think the Raiders should do what the Bears did. Still draft a couple defensive guys, but have this draft focus on the offensive side of the ball. Because when you get a quarterback, the most important thing you need to do is make sure that he has pass catchers and protection. And yes, I do love Linderbaum to them for the next couple of years, but that was the only offensive lineman you got. You didn't get like offensive tackles or guards. When the Bears did it last year with Ben Johnson, they got the inside of the line figured out, the left guard, right guard, and center.
And then they drafted a tackle, and they already had a right tackle.
Yeah, but I think that Clint Kubiak and John Spytek will figure it out. But actually, going into our last topic, and this one is kind of I mean, kind of crazy, but also kind of not crazy. So there's an NFL owners meeting, in a couple days that may actually force Raiders owner Mark Davis out. And
So I have a question. I didn't
well,
hear about this at all, but why do they want him out? I know you're probably about to get into this, but I just
I can actually look. I can look up the story because I didn't really read it. I just saw it, and as a another topic idea. Um, so
I
they
know
want us.
Nick was telling me like it'd be like a $10 billion sale or something.
So NFL owners are scheduled to vote on a Las Vegas Raiders succession plan that gives Silver Lake co-chief executive officer Egon Durbin the option to purchase a majority stake in the team from longtime owner Mark Davis, according to multiple ownership and team executives with direct knowledge of the situation. Although sources close to Davis say he has no intention of selling his majority stake, the vote would mean that if and when Davis or his heirs decide to sell, Durbin, a limited partner, would have the option to buy the club. Owners would then have to approve Durbin as the new controlling owner per league rules. Four sources with knowledge of the situation said that the owners will also vote on Davis selling roughly 7% of the team to Durbin and another limited partner, Michael Meldman. That sale would put the team's valuation at nearly $10 billion. Two of those sources said. The owners will vote on the transactions at the annual league meeting held in Phoenix starting March 29th. So that is a week from tomorrow. According to the agenda distributed by the two clubs this week, the league's finance committee has already approved the option agreement with Durbin, according to two sources with direct knowledge of the situation. So that's most of the article. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but I can send it to you if you want, so you can.
Yeah, I'll look it up. That's all good.
But I mean, I do think that it is a good idea to have a succession plan because of the fact that here's the thing. During Mark Davis's tenure as the owner, he has had what, like, so
How long has he been the owner?
let me look that up. How long has Mark Davis?
The only
Oh,
owner I
wait.
know is the Bears owner, the McCaskies.
Okay, so Mark Davis has owned the Raiders since 2011. So like
Not
15 years.
some not good years.
And and in those 15 years, what, they've had like 5 or 6 head coaches, something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, they had Gruden.
Because they've had
for a little
Gruden. They've had Gruden twice.
bit. Mhm.
They had Jack Del Rio. I think Jack Del Rio was a coach for them during
Pete Carroll, obviously.
Pete Carroll. Oh my God, I forgot that he was. Oh my God, no! What am I saying? What am I saying? Oh my God, I forgot that Pete Carroll was a coach of the Patriots for a year, but wrong
Team.
wrong team. Sorry. Then they had Josh McDaniels, Alec, or not Alec Pierce. What? Oh my God, what was the interim's name that became the coach for a couple of years?
Wrong guy.
And now and then they had Pete Carroll, and now they have Clint Kubiak, which I will say this. I do believe that Clint Kubiak will be successful. I do believe that. But I don't know. Here's my thing. I'm not exactly sure if he built the strongest staff. That's my question with Clint Kubiak.
We
And I
don't
understand.
know until we see it.
Yeah, and I understand that we don't know until we see it. But however, it's very hard to build like good staffs when you're the last head coach to be hired, because most of the good ones get poached early. Like, for example, I hate that I'm using this example, but I also don't hate it because I'm going to mention my own team. Luckily for us, um, Ben Johnson, got knocked out of the playoffs after the divisional round of the playoffs I guess 2 years now. And he, was hired a couple days after that. And then, rumors came out, that he was targeting Dennis Allen as his defensive coordinator. And then he brings in, Antoine Randall L. He brings in JT Barrett as his quarterbacks coach, but not only that, Ben Johnson had a mix of experience and youth in his coaching staff, which I think is a very good mesh of both. And I think Kubiak did a pretty good job at that too, but I don't know if, promoting the previous defensive line coach to defensive coordinator was the best option. But
I
then
mean,
again,
the defensive lines coach, they're tough. So
then again, that defensive line coach did coach Max Crosby, and even though Max Crosby was traded, for a couple days, they got him back. So that helps them out a lot. And they literally spent like $300 million on the defensive side of the ball, and maybe paid $100 million on the offensive side of the ball for 2 players for some crazy reason. But I don't know what happens with this. I guess we find out in a week. It would be nice if we could know during our show next Sunday, because next Sunday is the 29th, when this meeting is supposed to happen.
and we'll see some pro days as well too next week.
Yeah, Mendoza's will be next week. Who else's will be next? I mean, all of them are next week pretty much, because they start on Monday. But Mendoza's is the biggest one on April 1st.
I also want to add something.
Yeah, go ahead.
Did you see the Eagles and Patriots are trying to work out a deal after June 1st for AJ Brown?
Yes,
Yeah.
I did. That would be pretty dangerous.
What's June 1st? I didn't really read into
So,
it.
okay. So
is
June
that
1st,
where the dead
June
cap
1st,
doesn't hit?
June 1st, his cap hit goes from $40 million to $20 million.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Now, I mean, I'm sure that the Patriots have enough money to take care of that, but
they don't have the $40 million to take care of it.
I mean, they have the $20 million to take care of it.
The 20.
But here's the thing. You're probably looking at, for AJ Brown, you're looking at trading at least a first for him, because here's the thing. Now, I'm going to mention this a little bit, but we won't go too in depth to this because we're almost out of time. Like a month ago, DJ Moore was traded for a second round draft pick, and somehow, some way, the Bills took on his whole contract. But when it was released that he was being traded, everyone thought that it was going to be a fourth, a fifth, minimal,
Maybe a third.
maybe a third. But I was talking to I was on Twitter. I was replying to all those people, because the deal, like, even though after it was released that it was happening, it didn't say that it was official. So I'm like, okay, it's not official yet. How do you guys know what's happening? I'm like, it could be a second, or it could, or something like that. And when it became official and it said second, I was like, what I tell you guys, what you just gotta wait until Schefter or Ian Rappaport says it's official and gives you the details, because those are the guys that you can trust with how much or what teams give up for players. And if you can get a second for DJ Moore, you could for sure get a first for AJ Brown. I mean,
now with that Waddle trade, I'm curious what it's going to be. It might be a first and a second.
That would be insane.
Like, that's what it might be, because Waddle get traded for first, third, and fifth.
Fifth, yeah, something like that.
Like, that's probably what the value is going to be. I would assume it's probably going to be a first and a second, maybe.
That
Maybe
would
a
be
first
insane.
and 2/3 or something like that.
But here's the thing. Drake May is on his rookie contract.
Exactly.
And this is when you go and get guys that will help your franchise quarterback get over the hump. And
exactly.
And yes, AJ Brown is related to the crazy Antonio Brown, but I don't think AJ Brown is as crazy. I think he's a little crazy, but not as crazy. But we are at our time, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. I am sorry that I missed the first little bit of it with camera issues, but I figured it out, and we're back, and we will see you next Sunday. So have a good week, and if any of you guys watch some pro days, let us know what happens. Or let us know in the comments, what you liked from certain pro days. But I'll maybe watch a little bit, but I don't think I'm gonna watch every one because I got school. So so hopefully you have a good week, and also spring is here, so that's also a big one. But have a good night, everybody, and we will see you next Sunday.
Later.